name the fixed variable and state how it was fixed. And remember, the name, you name it, the how it was fixed, they require you generally to talk about a figure and give a reading. So, if I say to you, the fixed variable is the volume of lubricant added, then you would say 4 mils of lubricant measured with a syringe. And that's your second mark, the figure and how you did it, what apparatus you used to do it. So it's normally 2 marks per variable, 1 for stating the variable, and 1 for giving me a figure and saying how you measured accurately or got that variable fixed. Okay, right. And, Sahana.
The type of condom.
Okay. The make of condom? Okay. Because type could mean male versus female. So we're okay with make of condom. And how would that be fixed? Okay, Kiri.
They have to be the same like material. Brand.
Taken from the same box. All right, I think that would about cover it. Okay, right, let's go.
Me. Would you say like the size of a condom? Would that matter?
Okay. Only a male would say that. You will never get a female saying that. Okay.
See what you do.
All right. And I would say that this thing would cover that, so I'm not going to write it again. Yes, love?
Ma'am, do you have to say if it's an oil-based condom or not an oil-based condom?
No, the condom is not oil-based. That's
No,
the
but like,
lubricant
if
that
you
you add.
buy oil-
No, that's the independent variable. It's not a fixed variable. So you'll see when it's blown up, the size to which it is blown would also need to be the same. So then the two would be compared with each other to make sure that they're the same diameter and the same length. Okay, we need to go because else we're not going to finish. And it was you
Can I
and
do
you.
vanilla?
Vanilla.
Now they're being fussy. You've got tutti frutti. Okay, listen carefully to me. So this is a good scientific experiment. So remember, before opening a condom, check the expiry date, and it is, I can't read it, reading glasses, 2024. Okay. Right, check that there's a pillow of air, which shows that the thing is sealed, and then remember that you're going to open it without using a pair of scissors, so tear it. Okay, so remember that what you're going to do is you're each going to blow up the condom to being a balloon about this big and tie it, okay? And keep it the same size, and I'm going to put a little bit of lubricant on each of them, and you're going to rub with the same intensity and speed, okay? Okay. Come on! No, they're going to rub it. No, okay.
There's tutti frutti and you choose vanilla.
I just felt like this.
All right, you're going to stand over there and do it, okay? No, she wanted the vanilla.
Mom? Oh, yeah. What? Thanks.
Vanilla.
Okay. Hey, yo, timing.
I must start.
Oh my god.
Taylor. Wait, man, must I time from when they blow?
From when they start rubbing.
Okay.
Oh, it's blue.
Then now which way do I blow?
Yes, but unravel it first and then look.
Yeah, what are you good at this?
Taylor, just open.
Go there. Hey, yo, social distancing, not smelling each other's condoms.
Oh my god, do you know it actually tastes so nice?
I don't know why you're telling me, as if I care.
And then the piece. I think that's big enough.
No, so you've got to get it, yours as big as hers.
Oh, is mine too small?
Yes.
Taylor, how does yours taste?
Just be careful not to put it against your clothes, it'll make it oily.
Oh my god. I'm okay, pretty good.
It tastes like, what size is
pocket
the fresh bubblegum?
Like what?
Won't you turn it a little bit so they can...
It's a bit slippery.
It's kind of the point, Taylor.
I know, but it's kind of making, I don't think these things are supposed to tie.
Yeah, I'm still tired at the end. Don't decide at the end. Like after intercourse, don't the guys like
Yeah, but you
try
don't blow it
and
up.
like
Oh, I did.
Oh no, man, this smells so good. Oh my god, this one stinks.
Very smell.
No, guys, she's just breathed on it.
No, they just smell
COVID.
No, but she breathed inside and not on the outside.
No, and she's folded.
Did I get that? Did you get it? Yeah, I did. Please send it to me. Send it on the group. Okay.
Okay, wait, it's coming through. Let's do it.
Okay. Right. So, okay. While we've got these things enlarged like that, remember, so won't you step a little bit forward so people can see as well? So remember that when I described how to use the condom, so remember I said to you that there's a little reservoir at the tip of the condom. So when the condom is pulled onto the penis, it's terribly important to actually pinch the reservoir closed and keep it pinched like that before pulling onto the penis, so that when that reservoir is released, that's where the semen will actually be held. If the whole thing is pulled down onto the penis without leaving this little reservoir as a place in which semen can be held, then that condom will in fact burst when the male ejaculates. Okay, all right. So remember that what I'm going to do is I'm going to put oil-based lubricant on this one and water-based lubricant on this one. You need to take a scoop and just cut the scoop. Okay, right. And all right, ready, steady, rub. Don't hold it against your clothes.
It's gonna burst.
I suggest you keep your eyes closed. Not a balloon, Taylor.
Okay, this is
Keep going.
it's hard because it's a bit. How did you do it? Did I just rub? I'm rubbing.
Okay, all right. Thanks. Just pop it in the bin.
No, pop it.
Pop it.
It's not.
Okay.
Grab the condom.
Yeah, but that's not what we do.
Wait.
There.
Oh!
All right. Okay, so let's go. Right. The results.
The oil one popped in 18 seconds.
Okay, so you wouldn't say the oil one, you would say the condom, which was lubricated with the oil-based lubricant, popped within how long, Tabzi?
18 seconds.
And the other one?
That one popped in like 1 minute, 19 seconds.
Now that's not really scientific, the like thing. Okay, all right, so guys, remember that when you describe the method, in the method you would talk about measuring the length of time it took to burst. You would say, record this time in a table. The condom that burst in the shortest period of time was lubricated with a lubricant which, no. Why are you packing up?
No.
That was lubricated with a lubricant which actually damaged the actual latex in the condom. Okay. You okay with how to do the table of results? Okay. So remember, a table needs to have a heading. And I'm seeing this on your flow diagrams that you guys didn't hit them. 1 mark for no heading, 1 mark for an incomplete heading.
So that was 2 marks.
Okay, right. Guys, every table needs to have a heading, or every diagram needs to have a heading, and it's got to be complete. It's got to say what is in it. So in this case, it would be table comparing the time taken for a condom to burst with an oil-based lubricant and a water-based lubricant. Okay. All right. Now, there are 3 words that you guys are not using correctly or not interpreting correctly. So I said to you in the test, what precautions do you take to ensure accuracy? And some of you have taken it as being to ensure reliability. And those things mean different things. So remember that validity is fixing variables. V and V go together. Validity, fixing variables. Reliability is about repeating. Okay, reliability, R and R go together, is about repeating, getting a big enough sample size. And accuracy is really, if you're using apparatus, accuracy is about using apparatus correctly, or it's about how you actually do the investigation to make sure that you're following the method correctly. So accuracy in that case was about Matthew.
Yeah. No, I'm writing this now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine with that. Okay, accuracy is about doing the procedure correctly. So in that particular, it was the mark recapture technique ideally that you should be using, and accuracy is about that the mark mustn't wear off between things. It's those 6, I think it is 5 or 6 precautions you take. Those are the accuracy ones. And you guys need to make sure that you know the difference between those 3 things. Because if you get a question that's worth like 6 marks, and it's about how to make something valid, how to make the results valid, and you interpret it as how to make the results reliable or how to make the results accurate, you're going to lose all 6 marks. They're not going to be nice to you. You're going to lose 6 marks. You must make sure that you've got those 3 terms clear in your head. So validity is about fixing variables, V and V. Reliability is about having repeats. So it's a big enough sample size. R and R go together. And accuracy, if you're using apparatus, it's about using the apparatus correctly. If you're not using apparatus, it's about how you do the method correctly. So mark recapture, it's allowing enough time between the first sample and the second sample for the individuals of the first sample to mix with the population. It's about making sure that the marking method does not hinder the organism. It allows it to feed, it allows it to live a normal lifestyle, etc., etc. So that's about doing the experiment correctly. Okay, you happy with that? All right, you 100% happy, you know how to do an investigation. So in theory this term, we want to, for you, still do one more prac exam, one more PAT, so that you have 2 to choose your best mark. Okay. What we haven't decided yet is if we're going to make the second one compulsory. So for some of you who got a really nice mark for your first one, you might choose not to do the second one. I do, however, feel that even if you got a really good mark for the first one, it's not going to do you any harm to get a practice run on the second one. And then you would choose your best mark of the 2. So we want to do another PAT for you, and we want to do another case study for you. You haven't got your case studies back, have you? No. Okay. So they've been marked, they've been moderated. Please remind me to give them back to you at some stage of the game. Maybe closer to the time when you're going to do the second one. And we need to give you another test so that you will have 3 tests out of which you choose your 2 best for your portfolio.
The test always be on genetics.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Any questions?
No. I wanted to add something before we started, but
Yes.
then I didn't. I wanted to ask, should another fixed variable also have been the surface area of the condom that you rub with lubricant?
Yeah, but not me.
Sorry?
That
No,
is
not
rubbed
you,
with.
Not you,
So-
yeah.
You need to be careful how you express it. You say that is rubbed with lubricant. Yeah. Okay. All right. Everybody happy with that? So how would that be fixed, Joshua?
You would say measure 5 square meters using your mind square centimeters.
Yes. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Right. Genetics. Let's go. Come on. Good. You do a lot of work in 7 minutes. Shh, guys, I can't hear.
So if I'm describing accuracy and I'm explaining like a dropper, would this be accuracy if I said being eye level? Would I get the fingers wrong?
Then,
Like being eye level so you can see exactly the eye?
just be careful because accuracy, you would never talk about the correct way of using something. Because correct scientific use of apparatus is always presumed. So let's say, for example, you were talking about using a syringe to measure 5 mils of water. You would never, for accuracy, say the syringe should be inverted and flicked to get rid of the air bubbles, because it's presumed that you use correct scientific procedure. What you would say is if you were using the dropper and adding 3 drops of liquid or 3 drops of indicator to whatever, you would say that the dropper would be squeezed gently to ensure that only 1 drop was put into the liquid per time, because you're only measuring 3 drops. You're not measuring a whole 5 mils, and therefore it doesn't matter how fast you squeeze it in.
Would that not also be presumed then?
No, not if it's talking about putting in 3 drops of indicator,
Okay.
because that's not normal scientific use of using stuff, if you know what I mean. Okay, right. Where did we get to? 8.
Yeah, we
Okay, let's go. All right. A heterozygous bee with normal wings was crossed with a bee having dwarf wings. Okay, right. Where did we get to? Come, you've had your turn. Convening? Go. Which is dominant? Say again? I'm on page 5. So remember you were doing this for homework? Yeah, marked it. You were doing it for homework. Okay, right. So whether or not you did it for homework, I don't mind. But look at it and tell me which of those 2 alleles. So the alleles are for normal wings and dwarf wings. Which of those 2 alleles is dominant, and how do you know? Okay, sorry, go on. Why? Okay, guys, you need to listen. This is the first one where they haven't told you which is dominant. And this is the first one where you've actually got to work it out. You need to know how you're going to work it out. Okay. I don't care. Look at it. Tell me. What? Have you got the questions? What are those? Oh, you're an honor.
Just see because I did answer it.
William, go.
What was the question?
How do you know which is dominant? And which is dominant and how do you know?
Because it says half of the offspring had normal wings. So I would do the Punnett square and then we could figure it out with that.
No. Josh.
I said normal wings are dominant because it says there's a heterozygous bee with normal wings. Heterozygous means it has 1 dominant, 1 recessive. And because the phenotype is normal wings, that means the dominant must have been normal.
Okay, do you all understand that? So it tells you that the 1B is heterozygous, and it tells you that its phenotype is normal wings. That means, as Joshua said, the fact that it is heterozygous means that the 2 alleles are different, and the fact that its phenotype is normal wings means that the allele for normal wings is dominant. And therefore, the symbols that you're going to choose are capital N for normal wings, and small, and it's in B's, and lowercase n represents dwarf wings in B's. And so this individual is big N, little n. So let's go. A heterozygous bee, so parents with normal wings, is crossed with a bee having dwarf wings, which means that that individual must be homozygous dwarf winged, little n, because if it had a big N, it would have normal size wings. You understand that? Okay.
Can
though you would have to work it out and explain it properly. But if it says normal, then that would be the dominant. Because if it's normal, then most of the population will have it, which means...
No, not necessarily. No.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So, if you have to do the cross, then remember it would be gametes and half of those, and I will see you. Right, wait. Homework. Tomorrow you're coming to my class showing me your homework because you're not coming in if you haven't done it and you haven't got it. Right, no, you can't do the next thing until I've tortured you.
Yes.
Okay, go away. Don't forget to have a look at the cockatiers and all the IUDs to go. Next year I'm working. Next year I'm
That's what I said. You just put up in the gas for oh, no, I have to do the mental test today. That's what's happening. That's not the moral of the story.
It depends on what your base is. So you can have synthetic that is oil-based and synthetic that's water-based.
These are organized on a different date.
It's Friday.
On a different day.
The second test is on
I'm
Friday.
sure what I'm telling him, but anyway, so be it.
Is the, so does someone, if you go to the doctor to have
Yes.
it?
Like, oh no, you put it in once and it's done.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
No, but that's it.
Oh.
So that would be to be, and then the little strings, remember, that stick out to the cervix into the vagina and that height. But this whole plastic thing is the applicator and inserting.